Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going in Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going in Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we got the latest on the John Cena heel turn at Elimination Chamber. We're going to be taking all of your questions. Usually Monday is a count-out day, but given the magnitude of the current trajectory of the road to WrestleMania, thought it'd be a little bit more fun to do something outside the box. Also, recorded count out, and a lot of it is just horribly dated now because
I wouldn't say a lot of it
excited.
Or horribly, but there's some entries that are like, in hindsight, based on what happened.
I probably should have waited till Elimination Chamber, the real road to WrestleMania started. was done with to record that one, but whatever. Anyway,
we got it in our back pocket now. If the time seems right, let's bust it right out.
It could be like like a Lost episode. We can drop it for patrons.
Sure.
Our yearly bonus episode. How about that?
Yeah. I'm not gonna do a music podcast once a month. Just anything we have that never made it to air.
I think that's a terrific idea.
It doesn't happen very often, honestly.
No, it really doesn't. It's very rare. Like, we will desperately claw and find any way to not redo stuff and to not add anything extra to our plate, We're in our low effort era, Larson.
Have been for a good number of years.
Yeah, man. Coast to coast. Anyways, what's going on? What's the latest? What's the dirt behind the scenes on John Cena's heel turn?
So shortly after Elimination Chamber, Fightful Select had some details on Cena's heel turn Elimination Chamber. What's interesting is there hasn't been much since then. Really. Anyways, this is what Fightful had to say. According to Fightful Select's extensive report. Here's some bullet points. WB, quote, went to great lengths to keep Cena's turn a secret, including listing that segment third on the internal run sheet for Elimination Chamber. And the angle, quote, came as a shock to many in the company. So a matter of, minutes before Elimination Chamber, as is customary with pay-per-views, even Raws and SmackDowns, Fightful sends the rundown for the show out via Fightful Select.
All right.
More often than not, is 100% accurate. This seems to be a case that the rundown internally was different from the actual rundown of the show or the events of the show to try to keep the heel turn a secret.
Well, they understood, hey, this shit gets out. So let's, think a little bit outside the box. Let's get some misinformation with these internal sheets so that it gets out and people are like, whoa, what's happening now? Crazy.
Exactly. So Fightful wasn't able to get many details on how long this angle was in the works, noting that The Rock's creative is kept pretty close to the vest, and Cena's involvement in WWE thus far hasn't required much, quote, creative briefing, kind of on a large scale. Sources told Fightful that while they weren't sure if planning for this angle went as far back as The Rock's appearance at Bad Blood.
Is when he did the three fingers.
But he didn't do three that way. He did the John Cena three.
Oh, right, yeah. What is it?
People pointed that out, yeah.
Whatever it is.
But that it could be possible as the Cody-Cena match was pitched roughly around that time frame, Bad Blood, so I guess early October. It's believed The Rock will be at Mania this year, though Fightful hasn't learned of any info regarding Rock wrestling on the show. Honestly, I'd be pretty shocked if he did.
He basically said at that last press conference,
after SmackDown, yeah.
After SmackDown, he said basically, this is a story. Sometimes you could do a story that doesn't necessarily have to lead to a match. Well, between Rock and Cody, he's absolutely right.
Yep. Here's more. Sources also told Fightful that the last poster release for Elimination Chamber before the show, it was released on Friday, which featured The Rock, John Cena, and Travis Scott, quote, was 100% intentional foreshadowing. And that Scott was planned to be in Elimination Chamber for more than a month. And in a subsequent Fightful report, they added that while most within the company didn't know Travis Scott would be involved in Cena's turn, there was word within WWE since mid-January that Scott was to be, quote, included in a major angle. And Fightful also reports that Travis Scott was training at a WWE Legends Wrestling School, and there have been talks of Travis Scott wrestling at some point in the future.
Yeah, he needs to work on his worked punches, man. You got to work on those punches because he gave Cody a big whack, big whoop-ha. You got to. It's not real. It's not real. You got to, pull back a little bit.
Those shots from the undisputed title from Cena to Cody sounded pretty darn real.
Agreed. That said, Cena's like a professional, so I feel like
maybe it's a situation where Cody says, "Give it to me."
Yeah,
it's more effective if you give it to me.
Could be. That could be. That could be.
So, talking about the secretive nature of all this during his post-Elimination Chamber press conference, Triple H talked about keeping everything kind of within a tight circle in terms of who knew what about Cena's heel turn. This we had to say. These transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co. Quote, "The one thing about tonight that I loved, it was nowhere. Nobody knew. When I say nobody knew, nobody. Right before the finish of the Elimination Chamber, I had to say to the truck, everybody lay out. I have all traffic, and where we go next."
What a cool phrase. I like that. Everybody lay out. I have all traffic. Larson, lay out. Steve has all traffic here. Okay, go to camera. This is all.
I thought you were going to read the rest of the quote. "Nobody knew it was coming. It was a very tight circle of people because we're just trying to entertain people and doing it in a way that is amazing and next level and they don't see coming. Where does it start? It starts with a group of people that just love this. It's in The Rock's blood. The goosebumps aren't manufactured. That's him. There's a massive group of people here internally at WWE, talent and everything. That is how they are. They live, breathe, sleep this. They want it to be epic. We start there and it escalates as a team effort that I'm incredibly proud of." It's all kept very hush-hush.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it. I mean, that's the honest to God. But, when we're shocked, it just makes everything better. People freak out when things aren't spoiled. And, in this day and age, it seems like WWE, they do have to go to extra lengths, and they should go to extra lengths, do whatever it takes to get this stuff. There was one prominent spoiler online that ended up being completely wrong. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy about that. I think that Cena is... I think that we can argue and debate what the various choices could have been. Maybe we could do this later on in the show, given that this is like the primary thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I you love a good surprise. Same thing with Hogan back in 96 or whatever. Mm-hmm. How by and large they were able to keep it a secret. And I know there was a spoiler out there that it was Mabel. Famously, I think.
Although Sting was backup.
Did Meltzer have Hogan? I think he said he had Hogan.
I think he said so because there was reporting that Sting was ready to go as the backup in case. At least that's what I remember.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
In case Hogan backed out.
I wonder if was that spoiler on internet back then? Because we had internet, but it was just very. I don't know if Wrestling Observer was on internet back then. No, it was 96. I didn't get mine. I got mine in 95, I think.
Yeah, I think it was about 95, 96 when I discovered internet as well.
Yeah, I discovered internet. So, yeah, man. Well, let's talk about that real quick now that we've talked about the backstage stuff. You and I did a video at Friendo Club Wrestling where we talked about the best, the worst, most surprising possibilities for The Rock's new corporate champion. Would, for example, CM Punk had been a better option here?
I guess to answer that question, let me explain the prism through which I made my selection for that show, which was desperation. I felt like Drew McIntyre at this juncture in his career is so desperate to have that moment and not have that moment be ruined that of the most prominent names or most likely names to accept The Rock's challenge, he would be the first to take it because it would seem to be an easier road to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. I felt like for Punk to reach that level of desperation, he would have to fail at his goal to main event WrestleMania this year. Cena, I think the desperation's there because he hasn't won a match in 5-6 years, whatever it's been. Longer than that, I think. It's been 2,000 plus days. But not knowing his schedule, not knowing if heel Cena is something they want to do for his retirement tour. I was unsure to say, yeah, I think this going to be he'll be the one, or he's the best choice. So that's why I landed on Drew. So no, I don't think at this point Punk would have been a better choice because I don't know if the level of desperation's there for him quite yet.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I look, I agree that I think there's a couple things to consider. Number one, from the business aspect of things, Triple H is trying to make every WrestleMania, I feel like, be as big and loaded as possible. It's why they're shortcutting Rhea and Bianca, because when you look at the layout, what's the biggest possible match, regardless of the stories that they've built up there? Now, you can say, going back to Bad Blood, that they built this and Rock even said, and I don't think he's necessarily bullshitting. I think the fact that he did the John Cena version of the House of Loyalty and Respect, and then he was able to mirror the same thing, I think it's entirely possible that a mere 5 months ago, they had this figured out. I think that's entirely likely.
Or it's a situation where, hey, this is on the table. Now, if it comes to fruition, we could point back to this and saying, the groundwork was laid here. And if it doesn't, all right, it's a minor detail that no one's really going to pay that much attention to.
Well, putting some pieces in place for possibilities, I think, is kind of akin to that. It would have had to have been a pretty big, oh my God, we need to seize on this instead of this moment. But it seems like kind of obvious that was the original plan. Let's do this. And if something goes wayward, yeah, it's wrestling, you pivot. That's what they did last year. But in terms of the biggest possible moment, I think we got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's no doubt. And I think Punk and Rock would have been a ton of fun.
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
But Punk's been heel before. We've seen that before. And Cena, basically echoing the Hogan 96 thing, is something that we've never seen. And on top of that, you can't dismiss the Make-A-Wish aspect of things. And I have no doubt that this is going to be a temporary situation. Cena's going to go out as a good guy. He's going to by December he will be a good guy again.
Yeah, he will.
And so you can keep that intact. But in terms of like loading this up in the biggest way possible, yeah, I think that's what you have to sort of pay attention to each year now. If you want to do your predictions, if you want to look at the future and speculate and whatnot, you got to look at what's the biggest thing they can do. And we're so conditioned to Vince running away from something that could potentially be awesome, but a little bit ballsy. He never wants to turn Cena heel. Okay, well, why the hell not?
Yeah.
And so Triple H is a bit more willing to be like, hey, you know what? There are some things that really shouldn't be sacred. And Cena's heel turn is one of them.
I will say this, that now that Cody's in place is kind of the new Cena, it probably makes the decision to turn Cena heel maybe a tad bit easier. Because, I'm not trying to defend Vince. I'm just trying to think of reasons that it may not have happened thus far, is that maybe they, as the company, didn't think there was somebody in place that could take the Cena spot.
Well, let me ask you, you're right in that over the past 4 years, it wouldn't even really made any sense unless you're going to do a big Roman turn that way into a babyface. Rock chooses Cena over Roman because he sees vulnerabilities in Roman Reigns, which in itself could have been an interesting story. But you're right, Cody is super babyface. There's no ambiguity about it.
No, he's the closest thing we've had to Cena since Cena. He's in the lineage of the super over babyfaces of Hogan, Cena, and now we got Cody.
Luger, you missed Luger in there, of course.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Who can forget the Lex Express? And Cena's heel turn also fits into Cody's story now, where this title is a wedge between himself and basically everybody he thought was his friend. He viewed John Cena as a mentor. And look what Cena's willing to do to get that title off of Cody. And win or lose after Mania, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of shape Cody's going to be in emotionally having gone through all this. And if he somehow retains against Cena, there's still the idea that Randy Orton could be a challenger down the line. He's going to have to go through this all over again.
We're going to talk about down the line and what we think might happen at WrestleMania in just a second here, Larson. But if I'm not mistaken, we've got ourselves some sponsors for this here episode.
We
so
do.
Why don't we talk about them briefly?
Let's do it.
This episode of Going In Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. Larson.
Yeah.
You and I are very fortunate, yes?
Yeah.
Because we have strong support systems in our lives. Whether it's friends, family, or each other, we both have people we can go to for advice, guidance, and more importantly, as I always get from Larson, encouragement.
Endless encouragement from me to you all the time. Yes, Steve, thankfully, we do have a support system. But therapy can also be a source of support for any area of your life. Back in my mid-20s, I was dealing with severe anxiety and needed the guidance of a counselor, a therapist, to help me learn the coping skills I needed to better manage my anxiety so I can get my life back on track. But back in the early 2000s, going to therapy involved getting in a car and having to deal with, at the time, I was living in LA, so LA traffic.
Yee.
Just hoping I'd make it to my appointment on time. Talk about anxiety. But BetterHelp is completely online, making therapy convenient and affordable. With BetterHelp, you have access to a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties, and you can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost.
So build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw. And let's get a word from our sponsor, Hims. Listen, guys, I get it. Losing your hair could be a real bummer. You can probably see it's getting pretty thin up here for me as well, but I'm here to tell you that just because you may have lost your hair, that doesn't mean you can't find it again. Hims makes treating hair loss simple and convenient with doctor-trusted options that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
And it's 100% online too, which means no awkward doctor's visits. Instead, you can get access to a wide range of hair loss treatment options from the comfort of your couch. To get started, all you got to do is answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is shipped directly to you for free. No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care.
So start your free online visit today at hims.com/goinginraw. That's HIMS.com/goinginraw for your personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/goinginraw.
Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
And let's get a word from our sponsor, Tempo. Steve, we've all been there.
Where?
You know, time is tight. Maybe you're in a hurry. Fast food seems like your only option at mealtime. But when I ask you, when you think of fast food, what comes to mind? What is your answer, Steve?
Well, I used to think that fast food was just a lump of unhealthy, thought-out, greasy meat in patty form. But my idea of fast food changed with Tempo, Larson. Tempo offers protein-packed fuel that saves you time without compromising your health goals.
Tempo is a weekly delivery service that provides you with chef-crafted, single servings meals that are prepared to cook in just 3 minutes, and they're delivered fresh right to your door.
Tempo's Meals takes all that guesswork out of eating well, and they've got new recipes each week, like farmer's market chicken and honey glazed pork chops that are made with real, nutrient-rich ingredients, what makes it easy to keep up with your healthy lifestyle.
For a limited time, Tempo is offering Going In Raw listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/raw. That's tempomeals.com/raw for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/raw. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right. So, real quick here. We are in the middle of the March Predictions Challenge. Right now, is it the Pegasus guy? No.
No.
Who is it? Art guy. It's the art person.
Yeah, Art.
Yeah, Daniel Acosta Art, I think
That's the name.
Isn't that what it is? Okay.
Something like that.
Look at me.
Here, I'll check it.
Check it really quick.
Carry on.
Daniel, Artman, has the lead going into Revolution for the March Prediction Challenge. It's only a 2-event situation.
Correct.
But, of course, coming up this April, 19th and 20th, we've got the WrestleMania Predictions Challenge. We're looking for this to be the grandest, the biggest, the largest Primero Predictions Challenge of all time. And on the line is this CM Punk Signature Series.
What the?
Oh, hell. It already broke. This thing comes to you straight from Pakistan. Well, it's coming to you from me from here, but it came to me from Pakistan. It's a bootleg, you see, of the real one back there. You don't get that. I think it's like $700. This one right here is far, far less expensive, but no less prestigious because it symbolizes the best in pro wrestling predicting. And you could win this come April. Talk about how, Larson.
You gotta join the Friendo Club setup. You can do that one of two ways. Go to patreon.com/Steven Larson. Join the $5 tier. It's called Friendo Club Setup. There you can not only join these predictions challenges, but also question threads. Also, huge back catalog of bonus episodes. We're gonna do some more at some other point. You can do the same over on YouTube. All you gotta do is hit that join button. Become a channel member at the $5 or up level. There you go. Look at that. And it's way down the bottom, so it always settles back where it's supposed to be.
I did it.
Don't get the top of that too close to your face. You'll cut yourself.
I just cut my finger.
Thing's really sharp. You do have to sand those
Okay,
edges.
it's on my left hand. I don't need my left hand for anything. My right hand is very important, Larson. For like drawing and typing. And the other thing.
Shooting basketballs.
That's right. And touching myself. Anyways,
Oh
let's take... Oh, wow. Just crossed a line there.
Wow.
Straight Edge Wolverine here with a super chat says, Steve heel turn when?
I kind of feel like it happened, in 2018, 2019, when you stole Big Red from me.
I didn't steal Big Red. What
you
the
did.
What
You
kind
admitted
of
to
accusation
it.
is
You
that?
admitted to it.
You don't even wear his Big Red anyways. Look at that. Just tucked away. Nobody can see it. You need a glass case to prominently feature that, Larson.
Where am I going to put it? So it's featured in this frame.
I don't know. Back there.
Where?
Behind you.
There's what? Where my guitars are?
I don't know.
Where am I going to put my guitars then?
There's an empty space right there. You could just
Where?
put it right there. I don't know. Back
Top
there.
the amp back there?
Anyways. According to Magnum AD, I'm actually the babyface of this podcast and you're the heel. And that guy knows wrestling.
All right, that's fine.
Rocky Feller here has been a member for 20 months. Says, all major happenings from Elimination Chamber are SmackDown stories. We got to wait till Friday. That's true. Yeah, we're not going to get shit on Raw tonight. We have a Raw preview for you later on the show, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. We got another super chat here from Alyssa. Says, Drew needs to join Bald and Balding ASAP. But does he need to go bald to do so? If Drew joined the Cena Rock connection,
yeah,
does he need to?
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like he needs to naturally go, but like whoever gets in on this crew needs to naturally be balding.
Yeah, so like if Karrion Kross shaved his head again,
that wouldn't work
because he's got a great head of hair.
He does. It's a crazy that guy ever went bald. Yeah. If Ricochet was still in the company, he'd have been a great option. You're right, exactly.
What about Ciampa?
Ciampa? Yeah. Ciampa's a good one. Bring Baron Corbin back.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a hell of a faction right there.
It is.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat, Alyssa. Appreciate it. Tony Noble here has been a member for 2 months now. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Gorilla Mon says, is Miz balding yet? No, Miz has a terrific head of hair.
Yeah, Miz has a good head of hair still.
Mm-hmm. He really does, yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk WrestleMania. How is this all going to shake out? Obviously, we're getting Cody Cena. Question is, though, who walks out champion? How does this all play out? Is it overbooked? Obviously, if The Rock's going to be there, it's not like he's not going to get involved. Obviously, Cody at this point is largely estranged from most of the Cody Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Save for Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
How does this play out, Steve? Who wins?
Oh, man, it's Cena's whole year. No, there's two things. Cena would be so much more fun as champion because he will have sold his soul to get that thing. And that has to be the genesis of his turn back to good guy. Like, was it worth it? That's got to be the thing. If he loses, was it worth it? Well, clearly not. I didn't get what I wanted. Now I look like an asshole. And yes, you can tell that story. Look where I went and look what it got me. A whole lot of nothing. I think it's a bit more interesting if he walks out with number 17, but he had to sell his soul to do it. Ooh, a tainted number 17. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, there's
Cody's more interesting. My last point here. Cody's more interesting on the chase, anyways.
That's usually the case for babyface champions.
Or is this a situation where they're just stacking the odds against Cody in the biggest way possible so that he gets to win? Again, I will lay out so you can take the traffic.
All right, thank you. And I'll take traffic from the point of view where it may be better if Cody does win. I think either option's a good option. There's plenty of good material to be had. We don't know what Cena's schedule. We heard a number like 30 dates over the course of the year, which is roughly every other week.
Mm-hmm.
And he's used up only 2 or 3 of them so far. So obviously for the rest of the year, he's got a good amount of dates left. That being said, we don't know his level of involvement. So I guess to a certain extent, maybe the safer route would just be have Cody winning.
Because he's around.
He's around. And you have Cena do the story of, well, I sold my soul, and it led to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So he has to confront that reality sooner as opposed to winning the title and having the push and pull within him of, well, was this the right thing to do, so on and so forth. So then both stories, I think, will lead to us having babyface Cena back by the end of the year. The question is, if they want heel Cena to win the title, drop it, and after dropping it, have to go through the process in a somewhat shortened time frame of going back to babyface, or we just have a shorter heel run, and then he spends the rest of the year getting back to babyface Cena, then maybe winning 17 towards the end of the year.
I mean, I feel like him winning at WrestleMania and then the fashion with which he loses it might then cause the reflection could be a strong way to go. When was WrestleMania 17? That was what, 2001? Because Austin kept the title there. Did he win the title or did he keep the title? He won the title.
I think he kept it.
Did he keep it? Let's see here. The Rock had it. No, he won it.
Oh, he won it. All right.
He won it at WrestleMania X7. And then he lost it not until September to Kurt Angle, who was probably a good guy at that point. Oh, he won it a week later. I was trying to remember the story of Stone Cold when he went heel, won the championship. I mean, it just went off the rails at a certain point because they had to turn him into a comedy guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they had all that invasion bullshit. But yeah, I feel like Cena winning. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the other perspective is Cody, from a business perspective, is so much money for the company as champion. They're making money hand over fist. You wouldn't think that would necessarily matter, but at the same time, it would make every Cena as champion appearance like potentially an added boost to the revenue also, because it'd be a special event.
Yeah, but that's only for television. I know there's not as much reliance on the live events as years past. Nonetheless, they still do them. They want to try to sell those tickets.
Right.
Cena's not going to be doing live events as champion or not.
Yeah, no.
Cody will continue, but is there any added value to undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes at these live events versus Cody Rhodes? You know what I mean?
I honestly, yeah. I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I'm sure they've got some internal metrics that say one way or another. But again, maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is the kind of thing where it's like, well, we won't know unless we find out, you know.
I guess they got to find that balance between the stories they want to tell and the money they want to make, you know. Yeah. And if going one route's going to lead to greater financial success than the other, odds are they'll go that route.
It gives you such a fresh lineup of championship title matches for the year as well. With Cena now as a bad guy as champion, obviously you could do Punk, you could do Orton, of course. Sami Zayn. You know, you could do any number of, and they all have, everybody we just mentioned has like a ton of history with John Cena. Rey Mysterio, you could revisit that as well. And so you've got, I don't know, you got kind of like a proper Cena retirement tour where he's a champion taking on challengers who are trying to dethrone this, piece of garbage that everybody thought was like the best dude in the world. So I think that from a business perspective, they might get, I don't know, just some added value out of Cena as champion. Because otherwise, what is it? Let's say that 30 dates was right, and he's knocked off 2 of them. What are you going to do for the rest of the 28, 27 that you got?
Oh, it's redemption tour then. Redemption
against who though? There's more baby faces for him, prominent baby faces for him to face than prominent heels.
I'm sure Rock's got some people that'll take on John Cena.
Like who?
Tongaloa.
We better get a John Cena. I mean, our truth.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. Everybody's talking about right now. We'll get to this in a second. So what do you think? What does your gut tell you they're going to do at WrestleMania?
My gut tells me that Cody's going to win.
Yeah, my gut tells me that this is like just to build huge...
I'll say this. The layout of the cards is going to matter because if they do Jay and Gunther, the main event night 1, they may think, we get the feel-good moment night 1 of everybody yeeting to close the show. Jay's holding the title. Then night 2, they can go the route of Cena winning. Now, if Jay versus Gunther happens in the mid-card of night 1,
okay,
that might change things. You know what I mean?
What would be
the overall story of the emotional roller coaster of the 2 nights of WrestleMania?
If they go with Roman Rollins Punk for the main event of night 1, is that what you're saying? As a possibility?
Yeah, or if Bianca Rhea main event's night 1, just if anything other than Jay or Gunther main event's night 1, I would think the odds of Cena maybe winning, or maybe there's no correlation whatsoever. I don't know.
Are there any other options where like a bad guy comes out on top on night 1?
I mean, it involves Seth beating Roman and Punk. Sorry, Seth. Probably ain't going to happen.
Oh, that was a good one. That'd be lovely. That'd be lovely. He really deserves that. Seth deserves it. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't think it's going to happen.
Probably isn't going to happen, no.
Probably not. We had a subscriber here on Twitch. Hawks Flock says, 7 months sub to the premier star raters in the business. I have a question, though. Speaking of women main eventing, he says, what are you guys' opinion on Triple H mocking people asking for a women's main event? I didn't actually see the whole thing that he said, but I heard that he sort of used a mocking, condescending tone when talking about people who want to see that, which, not shockingly, seems a bit out of touch.
Coming from him.
I don't see color, I see talent. Okay, man. All right. Probably best for him just not do these things. So I don't know. I guess in the end it doesn't look good for women main eventing WrestleMania anytime soon. But I don't know.
That's
maybe
because Bianca and Rhea could 1,000% main event WrestleMania.
He hates being challenged.
He really does.
Hates that.
He really does. He does not like people second guessing him.
To a degree,
challenging him.
To a degree, it makes me wish that Vince would do those things. Like
Lord.
Vince doing pro.
They would happen once, and they'd be like, never again.
With a bunch of fucking wrestling content creators grilling him
be
questions.
Like that Bob Costas interview, like 2 questions in,
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like starts throwing things at Denise Salcedo.
Macking papers out of people's hands and stuff.
EV subbed as well. Thank you very much. Gorman gifted a sub on the Twitch.
Thank you.
As well. Yeah, Dang MQ says, just let The Rock do those. Because I think Rock knows how to be diplomatic with his answers.
He's super diplomatic and corporate at those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd give you a good answer. It wouldn't be shit, but he'd give you a good. He wouldn't make you feel like an asshole for asking a good question.
I know. This is Damon Jackson Jr. here with the super chat says, "Is R-Truth now going to go heel?"
I hope so.
There's got to be something. There's got to be something between him and Cena.
If he tries, but it's like a sweetheart type heel turn, and Cena just doesn't go with it, and he still kills the guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think you got to get that heat. You got to get the R-Truth heat, man. You got to do that.
1,000%.
You got to do that.
All right, Steve, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, we'll answer some questions. I put up a question thread last night, so hopefully y'all dropped us some good ones. There's plenty here? Good, good.
Alex Foster has a good question. What would Rock and Cena have done if Cody had said yes? Probably would have attacked him anyways. And then Cody just would look like an asshole.
So, this is actually a really good question because everything relies on two huge unknowns. Can John Cena actually win the Chamber? Did he come out last? Did Cena come out last, or was Punk out last? Punk was out last. Was Punk out last? Yeah, Punk was out last.
He was. Yeah, Punk was out last, yeah.
So Cena was out second to last. It's all reliant on Cena winning one of the most brutal matches they have throughout the year, one of the most difficult matches to win.
Yeah.
So maybe they can rig that by having him come out second to last, I guess.
Having him come out last might be too obvious.
Right. I think they would all know and understand totally that Cody would say no. That was a safe bet.
Yeah, that was a pretty safe bet.
If he said yes,
they'd stand there,
I wonder, like,
him anyways.
You know, that actually would have been kind of baller if they had like this story beat. Cody's like, Rock, I want it all. And then he hugs him, and it's like, oh my God, what's going on? And then Cena still turns on him, and Rock says, it doesn't matter what you think. And they still do that. That had made no sense whatsoever.
No, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have.
But they know Cody's through and through a good guy. There was no way he was ever going to say yes.
Let's see. Film critic here says, since Cena turned, what is the new answer for biggest possible heel turn that never happened yet in the modern industry? So is there anybody who's been a babyface for the better part of their career who's never turned heel that still could? Oh, MHJ says Rey Mysterio. Yeah, that's probably.
Oh, yeah. Rey. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's Rey.
Let me see here. I'm still loading up my shit. By the way, we've got over 1,000 people watching on the YouTube right now. Do us a solid. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Also, we should have mentioned this. I'm going to make a little graphic for it. Are we cool with this? On Wednesday, the Dynamite Collision, Sacramento. We're getting a Sacramento Dynamite, Larson, at the Memorial Auditorium.
Yeah.
And like
Historic
we can't
Memorial Auditorium.
We can't do a pre-show meet and greet.
Well, I can't commit to it. It's me. It's on me.
Yeah. Family obligations.
Well, no, I got a doctor's appointment like right before.
I know. At this point with us, any obligation is a family obligation.
All right.
However, the good thing is at some point the show will get out. The taping will end, and we are going to be hovering around like the front area, the lawn
of the Memorial Auditorium.
I don't know on the right side, the left side. So look for us.
It's the main entrance. It's the entrance that faces towards J Street, I believe.
Okay, so the main entrance. Are we going to be, if you're looking at the entrance, on the right or left? Because there's lawn on both sides.
Let's say the right.
The right. If you're looking at the entrance, the right. When you're leaving, it's the left.
Yes.
I don't know if it's east or west or north.
It's not that huge of a lawn, so.
It's not. Dark Tank Lucha got it. Says, don't be hovering around my front area, Steve. So we're going to be hanging out. If you guys want to take a picture, it's $50. If you guys want an autograph, it's $100.
Oh, no.
If you want Larson's social security number, just let me know in private.
I know that.
No, we're not charging shit. We're going to be hovering on front areas.
Yeah. Black Sales says, will Cena's awesome heel turn change the wrestling landscape for years to come, like with the Tribal Chief or NWO Hogan? I mean, if he loses at WrestleMania and goes back to, on his journey to being a babyface, probably not. I don't think
what's the question? Will Cena change the industry?
Yeah, will Cena's heel turn change the industry a la Tribal Chief or NWO?
No, and that's why the Hogan one is more impactful than the Cena one, because it literally did like change like everything.
It changed the business, yeah.
It really did. I mean, it's because the business was dog shit. So he was fighting with like Kevin Sullivan. I love Kevin Sullivan, but like the Dungeon of Doom really was not terribly compelling television.
The alliance to end Hulkamania.
Right, exactly. Let's see here. Pat McFlat says, more so a hope for prediction, but I think they should do a Piper versus Hart of WrestleMania 8 story in the match where Cena realizes the bad that's overcome him before he does something to Cody and refuses The Rock's orders, turning back baby. Oh, so he wants Cena to go back to being a babyface during the match. Yeah, but then he's just going to lose again. I really want him to win. And on top of that, that's like not Cody overcoming or persevering.
No.
AJ Otani says, what full-time wrestler would you put with Rock and Cena's new corporation? Again, like we said, somebody, Alyssa said maybe Drew McIntyre. Just somebody who's balding. Kevin Owens would be a lot of fun.
Kevin Owens would be fun.
Kevin Owens would be a blast.
Kevin Owens still has a good head of hair, though.
I know.
Seth Rollins would be fun.
He's got a good head of hair.
Yeah, it's starting to...
Owens is too. If you actually look at Owens back in 2016,
yeah,
it's running away now.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Brandon says, how should Cena change his look and presentation now that he's a heel?
Suits. He said before in like that interview where he talked about going heel that he wouldn't sell merch as a bad guy. That's a bad move. I want Scowl Cena. Yeah. With his like big eyebrows.
Yeah.
On a shirt. That says, it just says give up.
Give up. Yeah.
I stole that from internet. Other people had that one. Give up. Let's see here.
Kind of answered that.
Odd Breakfast says, do you think they could use a Travis Scott song for Cena's new theme? Yeah, or a John Cena song. Have John Cena record it. Just keep Def Rebel away from them.
Yes.
Keep them away.
If the idea is going to be that this there's almost a faction of Rock, Cena, and Travis Scott, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, use a Travis Scott song for Cena.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, wow, this is an interesting question.
Yes.
My spirit animal is the Dorito says, what does your inner child need today? Well, some hoops, because we're playing some basketball.
Hoops, a nap.
That keeps us young.
Yeah. Or it keeps us young, but makes us feel old afterwards.
Yeah.
It's an odd dynamic.
A nap? So like your inner, like, kind of like infant, toddler, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Diego here says, I know you guys have spoken about who would potentially take the title from Cena whenever he wins it under a face dynamic, but who, aside from Cody, has the star power to take the title from heel Cena? Nobody. It's got to be Cody. Because that's the story.
Yeah, it's got to be Cody.
It's got to be Cody.
He's got to get that back. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to think of these. Jesse Halsey says, since Cena turning heel was one of those never going to happen moments, what's something that could happen in wrestling that would elicit a similar response? Never going to happen. I mean, AEW, WWE Super Show.
Yeah.
Maybe. Something like that.
Dynamite beating Raw in the ratings.
Hangman and CM Punk getting back into a feud.
CM Punk and Hangman Page in a tag team.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah. So people have mentioned Ray Phoenix, apparently, according to Fightful Select.
Yeah, apparently, let's see if he's on I saw some chatter here in chat about
and clear.
Ray was no longer on the roster page here. So
this latest iOS update is
quite a bit different, ain't it?
Pain in the ass. The male aspect of it is so irritating. It's got like little icons next to them now.
Oh, I don't
trying to organize my shit. Get out of here.
Yeah, no Ray Phoenix here on the AEW roster.
Phoenix out.
There you go.
Oh, Maggie says, never gonna happen moment. A woman at the head of creative. I mean, it might be a while. Might be a while. Gorilla Mon says Sean confirmed that he's a free agent.
Oh.
Ray Phoenix, not Sean.
Yeah.
I think he still has a long deal with Fightful.
Yeah. Jack Napier here says, should John Cena go back to calling his finisher the FU now that he's a heel? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, of course. It should be called F Them Kids. That's what it should be. The Break-A-Wish.
Mr. Sinister, if Cena and Rock form a faction, who else can join them? Pick 2 to 3 more superstars from any brands or even someone from TNA.
If Cena and Rock formed a faction, we need how many people?
How many more people? 2 to 3 more people.
Jacob Fatu.
All right. What if New Day joined up with Cena?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. That's fun. I like that.
Bortolazzo brings up New Day as well.
That's good. That's good. Josh here says, what if Bianca was the mastermind to the Jade attack and it sets up Jade versus Bianca at SummerSlam? I don't like it. Never turn Bianca heel. There you go. There's a never say never.
She's so good as a heel.
I know. But we already got it. She's the new Cena.
She was so good. Was she just walking to people and start chewing gum right next to him?
I know.
So good.
And she'd clap in their face.
So good.
You
gotta miss heel Bianca.
She's such a great heel. I know.
Answered that. Rach here says, how do y'all feel this heel turn ranks amongst most shocking heel turns in WWE history? We'll probably do a count out on that at some point. So stay tuned. It'll be high up there because it was pretty shocking.
Yeah. I in WWE history, it's number 1. In wrestling history, it's number 2, man. It's number 2. Wow. Oh, this is a great question. Static says, do you think Cena turning in front of an international crowd would have had a different live crowd reaction?
Wait, say again?
If they had done the heel turn in front of... Wait. They weren't in front of an international crowd. They were in Toronto.
Yeah, it was Canada. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe just to give him some benefit of the doubt here. Maybe he means like across the pond.
Okay.
If they had done this in...
If it had gotten a different reaction, like people would have been loudly cheering it or something like that?
I mean, the crowd reaction was pretty big, regardless.
It was.
It was like, ah! You know, a lot of Wilhelm screams in there.
Timor here says, would the build be better for the men's and women's world title feud for Mania if the Rumble and Chamber winners were flipped? As in, Cena wins the Rumble, Jay wins the Chamber, and Bianca wins the Rumble, Charlotte wins the Chamber. No, because I think Cena needed to lose the Rumble, because that adds to his desperation. As far as Bianca winning the Rumble versus Charlotte,
that's kind of like it doesn't. Well, I mean, the Bianca moment being in the pod for the Jade stuff really did matter.
Yeah, you can't do that at the Rumble.
Yeah. Alyssa joined for 41 months now. Says John's new motto is just going to be give up. Just give up.
Give up.
Just stop.
Give
stop.
up.
It's not going to work. Jonathan, in contrast here with a super chat, says, never going to happen moment. All the elite going to WWE. It almost happened. 2017 almost happened. They were talking to Paul.
Yep.
And they were like, no, we're going to start our own deal.
Justin Sider says, will Cena change his gear or music to fit his new persona? Yes and yes. He should do all that.
What should he wrestle in?
He should get the, like The Rock, the Elvis type get-up. He should wrestle in that as well.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if they got matching Elvis get-ups?
That's what I'm talking about.
That'd be awesome. I do think that Cena should probably go hard on the spray tan.
Yeah.
He was looking a little Steve-ish out there. I'm like, come on, John. You got to tan up a little bit, buddy. Let's see here. Oh, Javier says, do you see John teaming with The Rock in a tag versus Cody and possibly Punk or Roman? I don't see them doing that again.
No, I don't.
Rock has seemed to indicate that he doesn't want to do a match.
Yeah. Ethan Granville says, "Do you think fans will get too invested in heel Cena and turn on Cody if he wins at Mania?" No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll believe that they're going to turn on Cody when I see that.
I know.
I think that they booked him in a way that the fans are pretty happy with it.
Code Diesel here says, "What's the most impactful thing to come from John's heel turn besides the 17th title? Say, put this win the 17th World Championship aside. What's the most impactful thing about Cena's heel turn?"
The most impactful thing about the heel turn. I don't know. Some really good promos.
You
More
know, maybe
sellouts.
it's there's probably other examples we can think of. Maybe the most clear-cut example, though, that Triple H is willing to take some risks that Vince never was.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Here we go. Remster says, "What was more shocking?" Boy, this is a tough one here. Brock ending the streak or Cena turning heel?
I'm going to say Brock ending the streak because I didn't consider that a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
We had discussed Cena joining up with The Rock on our SmackDown review after The Rock made his offer to Cody. So it had crossed our minds.
I legitimately don't remember. I mean, back in what year was that? When the streak ended? It was at 30.
14?
Was 2014? Was that one was?
Or 2015?
Yeah, 2015 was 31. This was 30. So yeah, 2014. Boy, I don't know what we talked about back then. Was the show a thing back then? When did the show start? 2014? It started in 2014.
It was September 2014.
Ah, okay. And I think we'd already finished doing Tree of Woe.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any like audio there to go back to and see what we had said at the time. Okay.
No, I kind of vaguely remember at the time. I was like, "Oh, there's no chance that Brock ends the streak. There's none."
I mean, dude, I do remember being like feeling that dude with with his eyes bugging out that they showed in the crowd.
We were watching at your house. I was sitting in a recliner, eating a bag of chips.
Was that back at Trails 2014? No, it was here.
House now.
It was here.
Yeah.
I had a recliner out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next to the fireplace.
Where was the TV?
Same place.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I kind of remember that. I need to find some video of that. Mix things up in my living room.
Take your giant TV out of there and switch it with the giant TV in your bedroom. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I got two big TVs, but like the TV in my bedroom now, it's like got some weird, like sort of splotchy, like shadowy things that you only notice when everything is like super white on the television. And because like we were watching Severance the other day, and there's like some scenes that are just like very white.
Yeah, it's
and
a
I'm
bright
like,
show at times.
What the
Yeah.
fuck's going on here? I mean, it was in my garage for a year, not doing anything.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
So I don't know. Maybe Black Friday, I'll upgrade that.
Get an even larger TV.
That's what I told Lace. I was like, can we go 80 in the bedroom?
It's like an IMAX screen in there.
Yeah, I know.
It's overwhelming.
No.
See, we have a TV right here. We never use it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't watch TV. I don't really like watching TV in bed.
Dude, it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
It is so comfortable.
Yeah.
Some days, like especially like on Mondays after we play ball, like for Raw, I'll just lay there, just laying, watching Raw.
No.
It's great.
Like I don't even turn. Like I watch Raw right here on my two monitors set up. I don't even
Sometimes
turn
I'll
the TV
fall
on
asleep during it.
I don't know why. Never like watching TV in bed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's interesting. How big is your TV in your room?
Oh, it's not large.
See, that's the thing.
No,
if you get 80 inches in your room,
it's still good. It wouldn't even fit. First of all,
you'll always be so happy.
No, it never turned on.
It'll never leave. It's great.
No.
Yeah, man.
Not gonna happen.
Oh man, look at this. Enturi Deepak says, "Hi, I'm from India. Love your reviews, brother." Well, thank you, brother. Anyways, is that going to do it for the show today?
Oh, let's do a quick Raw preview.
Oh, that's right, a Raw preview.
So that's what we got.
Can we bring in Dick Slavitt for this?
No, let's do it real quick.
Oh, come on, let's bring in Dick.
No,
I got him loaded up.
No,
No dick.
Got Rhea Ripley versus Io for the World Women's Championship. Got the Creeds taking
Who's
on.
going to win that?
Oh, Rhea's going to win.
Wonk
Or a
finish?
Wonk finish. Could be
Distraction finish?
Wonk finish.
Okay.
Creed Brothers versus War Raiders for the tag titles.
Creed Brothers. Oh, I hope the Creeds win that.
Yeah, I do too. Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile for the Intercontinental title.
Lyra. Oh, wow. They're doing. Didn't they just do an Intercontinental Championship match last week?
It was Dakota Kai versus Lyra.
Yeah, right. We're getting 2 Intercontinental matches back to back.
Yeah, I guess so. There wasn't anything on WWE.com about a Raw preview. This is just what I found on internet, so hopefully it's accurate.
I got my ear to the ground. I'm listening to the universe.
And then Gunther, Seth, and Punk are all scheduled to appear.
Oh, boy. A lot of talking tonight. Yep. So much talking.
Some video packages. Maybe our reactions will be in one of those video packages, although I'm not holding my breath.
If they're not, I'm done with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying anymore. We couldn't get this one in. I'm not even trying anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the reactions were good.
I thought they were great. They were pure. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Nothing rehearsed about it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. You know we're on the road to now, dude? Do you realize this?
Oh, for 202,202 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, we're back on the palindrome.
Yeah,
we're getting there now, man. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. And then the next time we hit that palindrome, 202, Larson will come over to a 24-hour stream here.
No, we'll do maybe a 202-minute long stream, but not a 24-hour stream.
No. Oh, 202. That's a good one. So wait, confirmed this Friday for the My GM stuff?
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Okay. Larson's going to come over on Friday for My GM because we're not going to be doing a watch-along for Revolution.
Or we could just do a watch-along for Revolution with no recap after. Just do the recap Monday.
Oh, I was thinking of that too. What would you rather do? Or we could do both and make a lot of money.
Well, it probably won't be a lot.
Is that too much time? Wait, you going to come over here and do the watch-along for Revolution?
No, I wasn't planning on that.
No? You want to hang out with me for 4 hours?
We're having these discussions right here on air. I got to consider. I got to think about these things.
Nobody watches this deep into the show. The 1,000 people live, they're not really watching us right now. All right, we'll talk about it at Ball today. How about that?
Sure, that sounds
We'll
good.
Compromise.
We'll figure something out. All right. That's it.
Super chat from MP says Cena must have switched to Cocoa Pebbles. Different cereal, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.